Another common error is to invest the vast majority of the available time for the presentation preparation on the accompanying slides for the talk, digging up the data, tweaking the detail, creating the charts, arranging the order, etc. Keeps us quite busy. So busy, in fact, that we forget to practice the delivery of the talk. We find ourselves peering down at our audience, presenting the content for the first time up while on the podium. We are, in fact, practicing on our audience, and this is definitely not a best practice. Present Dojo! Stato! This is the Presentations Japan series being broadcast from Tokyo. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, President of Dale Carnegie Training Japan. Your motivation to become a fully competent presenter has led you to this podcast. Congratulations on your commitment to be a person of persuasion. Today's show is brought to you by the High Impact Presentations course. This is the gold standard for presentation training. Doing this course will transform your career and life. Presentation power is the #1 business skill possessed by only the few. You will immediately become one of them. Host the High Impact Presentation course in-house or come to one of our public programs. We do it in Japanese and we do it in English. If you want to master presenting, then contact me at greg.story, greg.story, S-T-O-R-Y, at dalecarnegie.com. Also, over at japan.dalecarnegie.com, we have assembled an outstanding collection of free materials to help you grow even faster. Take a look. This is episode 2, and today we are talking about delivering presentations with clarity. There are a number of common structures for giving presentations, and one of the most popular is the opening, key points with evidence, closing, variety. We consider the length of the presentation, the audience, the purpose of our talk, and then we pour the contents into this structure. Generally, in a 30-minute speech, we can only consider a few key points we can cover. So we select the most powerful and then look for the evidence which will persuade our audience. This is where a lot of presentations suddenly snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. The structure flow is a simple one. The analysis of the occasion is straightforward, but at this next stage, we can get confused about what we are trying to achieve. We might become so engrossed in the evidence assembly component that we forget the crucial why aspect of this effort. We are not here to produce mounds of statistics, battalions of bar charts, or proffer reams of text on a screen. Technically oriented presenters love to bludgeon their audience with detail, usually forcing the font or scale to be so small it is barely visible on screen. No, the why is all about persuading the audience to agree with our conclusion or way of thinking. This is communication skill rather than archaeological or archival skill. Line charts, pie charts, comparison tables are trotted out to do battle with the perceptions and biases of the audience. The errors, though, include a presentation style where the actual detail is impenetrable and so is not fully accepted. The tendency to imagine that this superb, high-quality data will stand by itself and not require the presenter to do much is another grave error. I don't have to be a good speaker because the quality of my information is so valuable, is a typical, if somewhat pathetic, excuse. Another common error is to invest the vast majority of the available time for the presentation preparation on the accompanying slides for the talk, digging up the data, tweaking the detail, creating the charts, arranging the order, etc., keeps us quite busy. So busy, in fact, that we forget to practice the delivery of the talk. We find ourselves peering down at our audience, presenting the content for the first time while up on the podium. We are in fact practicing on our audience, and this is definitely not a best practice. How should we fix this approach? Some examples of evidence are really powerful when they are numbers, but instead of drowning our audience with the many numbers, we can select a gripper and use a very big font to isolate out that one number. We then talk to that number and explain what it means. If we want to use line charts or trend analysis, then one chart per slide is a good rule. We don't split the visual concentration of our audience. We speak the significance of the trend, knowing that our audience can see the trend line for themselves. To improve our communication effectiveness, we go one step further and we tell stories about these numbers. Who is involved, where, when, what happened. We recall stories more easily than masses of data, so the evidence and context are more easily transferred. This helps to get us around to the why of our talk, the key point we want the audience to absorb. And we practice the delivery over and over until we are comfortable we have the cadence right. We recall Professor Albert Mehrabian's study about the importance of not just what we say, but how we say it, emphasizing particular words, adding gestures for strengthening key points, engaging our audience by using eye contact, allowing pauses so ideas can sink in, and reducing distractions so our actual words are absorbed. Structure, rehearsal, storytelling, and congruent delivery combine to create powerful success formula for presentations. Some action steps from today. 1. Don't be consumed with the detail. Keep the main message in mind. 2. Don't be self-indulgent and think your supreme content excuses a poor delivery. 3. Allocate sufficient time for rehearsals. 4. Tell the stories behind the data. 5. Remember, what you say is important, but how you say it is more important. Thank you for joining the Presentations Japan series brought to you by the High Impact Presentations course. Time to get serious? Then contact me at greg.story, greg.story, S-T-O-R-Y, at dalecarnegie.com. And also go across to japan.dalecarnegie.com for all the free goodies.